Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Liu Yueyang, or you can call me Bianca. I'm from University of Malaya, and I'm a master's student. It's my honor to speak here. I'm very glad to join the conference and share my research with you. And the title of Analyzing the Intercultural Performance of Traditional Chinese Group Puppetry in Penang, a case study of Omba Bodeki. Okay, in this presentation, I will briefly to discuss about this content consists of introduction, literature review, methodology, and finding. Firstly, I will explain some terms on introduction. Group puppetry is a form of theatrical performance that involves the use of closed puppets. It originated in the 17th century, located in the Fujian province of China, and bodeki, in fact, it's another linguistic expression of group puppetry originated from the Hokkien dialect. After migrating from Fujian to Malaysia and Indonesia, the term bodeki became commonly used to refer to group puppetry in this region. I will move on to my problem statement. So because of the time, so as mentioned before in my introduction, bodeki came to Malaysia, but Chinese traditional arts as a foreign culture that migrated in the previous century have been in search of their cultural identity, and the Malaysian Chinese have attempted to create a new form of cultural identity known as Malaysian Chinese cultural identity. Bodeki previous performance in Penang were similar to Chinese traditions such as performance style, story, and dialect. Intangible cultural heritage such as this one face challenging in recognition and protection compared to tangible cultural heritage. With the need for transformation to suit contemporary society, the renowned Banjo Hoplang troupe in Malaysia has suspended performance due to waning interest, but the establishment of the Omba Bodeki troupe in 2015 has sought to inherit the traditional style while incorporating local elements and influence from Malay and Indian culture. The localization of bodeki observed in Malaysia involves the adaptation and fusion of Chinese and local culture, resulting in a transformed art form. While research on Malaysian group puppetry has primarily focused on its history and performance style, there is a need for further exploration of its current stage of localization, interculture, and particularly in the case of the Omba Bodeki troupe, to gain insight into the fusion of different culture, arts, and the adaptation of foreign art form. So, I have three research questions. The first one is, how did the Omba Bodeki troupe establish itself in the context? And the second one is, what elements has the Omba Bodeki troupe incorporated to innovate its performance techniques? And the final is, what new communication methods has the Omba Bodeki troupe adapted to engage with the public? So my research objective around the question, first one is investigate the current status of traditional group puppetry in Malaysia and understand the history of Omba Bodeki establishment. And the next one is to analyze the elements incorporated by the Omba Bodeki troupe to innovate its performance techniques, including the infusion of local elements, blending of diverse cultural influence, and exploration of new artistic approach or technologies that have enhanced the troupe's performance and artistic expression. And the next one is explore the Omba Bodeki troupe utilization of new communication methods to engage with the public, including collaborations with others art forms and the use of community outreach activities to facilitate audience interaction. Examine how these innovations have expanded their influence, increased public awareness, and enhanced appreciation for Omba Bodeki performance. So, I will move to my literature review. My literature review is structured based on the pattern of regional migration starting from China and extending to Malaysia. So in the Chinese literature section, my analysis primarily focuses on the history, performance characteristic, form, stage, costume, and the ritualistic value of group puppetry. Subsequently, through the Chinese immigration, group puppetry was brought to Malaysia. In the Malaysian literature section, I analyzed the current research conducted by Malaysian scholars on local group puppetry, including its folkloric value and artistic significance. The theoretical foundation of this study is intercultural theater theory. Interculturalism in theater explores the challenges that arise when cultural clash, overlap, or become distant, emphasizing mutual influence, openness, flexibility, and hybridity between culture. It differs from multicultural by focusing on the dynamic interplay of diverse cultural works rather than mere coexistence, challenging Eurocentrism and power imbalancing. However, intercultural performance has been criticized for perpetuating inequalities and the dominance of Western culture, leading to ongoing revision and discussion in the field. Intercultural theater combines specific cultural resources in terms of narrative content, performance aesthetic, production process, and the reception levels, with a focus on cross-cultural adaptation and the interviewing of performance cultures, exploring the future of Western and non-Western elements while highlighting the indigenization and contemporaneity of adapted works. The study focuses on how the Omba Bodeki troupe adapt traditional Bodeki puppetry to meet contemporary stage demands, examining their integration of cultural elements, narrative construction, performance style, and creative process, as well as their use of cross-cultural elements to create a unique intercultural theater experience. So this qualitative case study investigates Chinese girl puppetry in Malaysia, focusing on the Omba Bodeki troupe as a case for analyzing intercultural performance in Malaysian Bodeki. The study utilized primary data from observation of troupe performance, interview with leader and performer, and observation of rehearsal, secondary data from book, article, recording interviews, and so on. So the semi-structured interview and non-participant observation methods are employed to maintain objectivity. Thematic analysis is used to analyzing communication materials and observe human behavior in the context of the theater troupe's performance. So the next part, I will move to discuss my finding. The Omba Bodeki troupe originates from the research efforts of a professor from USM, and it involves young individuals learning traditional skills from experienced artists. These young members have simultaneously developed and expanded Omba Bodeki, incorporating cross-cultural performance elements. The performance style of Omba Bodeki is based on traditional aesthetic and incorporated the artistic characteristics of Malaysia's diverse local culture. Among them, this one is Kisah Pulau Pinang. English name is The Story of Pinang. It's the most representative work of Omba Bodeki. This production was created by the troupe's actors themselves, who simultaneously rehearsed and wrote the script. Unlike the folk myth and the historical hero story of traditional Chinese girl puppetry, Kisah Pulau Pinang is set in Pinang and depicts the history and everyday life of its people. By analyzing the representative play, the study explores the localization of the performance through aspects such as costume, dialogue, and music. The play includes characters representing local Nyanyong and local Muslim culture, and their costume incorporate local elements. The character Naya initially wear a baju panja. The traditional attire of local Peranakan women, however, as society evolves post-war and experience advancement in living standards and fashion, Naya transitioned to wearing a kabaya and sarong, reflecting the change aesthetic and fashion preference of the time. Performing the story of a journey to the West alongside a Japanese puppet theater troupe is a typical example of intercultural performance, where local Bodeki and Japanese string puppets share the same stage. The exchange and integration of traditional puppet performance from different cultural backgrounds enrich theatrical arts, foster community cohesion, and contribute to the development of a shared Asian puppet cultural heritage. The original character and Japanese Onibaba come from Buddhism story culture. The successful fusion of Japan's Onibaba and China's journey to the Western in intercultural performance is achieved through the complementary Buddhism theme, showcasing the clash between great and enlightenment, represented by Onibaba and the Tang monk, respectively, while highlighting cultural construct in concepts of love and aesthetic accessibility. Okay, the next one is Omba Bodeki troupe also ventured into collaboration with stage drama in 2023, breaking away from the traditional practice of performing in makeshift pavilion on the street. Instead, they interned the experimental theater space, allowing the audience to clearly witness the entire process of puppet manipulation by the actors. This represents an innovative performance approach and scientific the transition of traditional art into the modern era. Puppetry has embraced innovation by transitioning from temporary veteran to the experimental theater, also known as black box theater, which originated in France in the late 19th century to early 20th century. This type of theater provides a versatile and flexible space with a black background that focuses the audience attention on the stage and eliminates the traditional elevated stage, create a more immersive theatrical experience. By embracing a flexible and liberated stage space, the new performance fusion approach of Puppetry injects vitality and innovation into traditional art, offering a contemporary and creative show for the audience, promoting cultural exchange and providing a richer and more intimate artist experience. So due to the time constraints, I can only present a portion of my finding. If you are interested in my research or have any question, please feel free to contact me. Here is my email and WhatsApp contact information. So thank you for your attention. I'm very appreciate.